Hello, welcome back to Hassan Narrates. Tonight's story begins in a quiet town in America. People were eating breakfast, children were walking to school, dogs barked, birds sang. Everything seemed normal until thousands of birds suddenly fell from the sky, dead. No one understood why. Some people believed it was a sign from God, others feared a disease, and a few wondered if the end of the world had finally arrived. But the truth turned out to be much stranger. It was New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2010. It was in a small town called Beebe, Arkans. People were preparing to celebrate. Families gathered inside their homes. Children waited for midnight. Teenagers laughed outside, and fireworks occasionally lit up the dark winter sky. At around 11:30 in the evening, residents heard strange noises above them. At first, they ignored it. Perhaps it was just more fireworks. But then people noticed something moving overhead. Hundreds of blackbirds were flying wildly. They were circling, changing direction, crashing into each other. Some flew directly into the trees. Others hit houses. Then came the sound that many residents would never forget. Thud, thud, thud. Birds began falling onto roads, onto gardens, onto parked cars. Within minutes, thousands of birds covered the streets. People stepped outside in the shock. Children cried. One woman named Sarah later said, "At first I thought someone was throwing rocks at my roof." Another resident, Mark, looked outside in his window and whispered, "They were falling everywhere. I have never seen anything like it." Police officers arrived. They expected to find injured animals. Instead, they found dead birds scattered across nearly a mile of road. Scientists soon identified them. They were red-winged blackbirds, a common species found throughout North America. But why had they died? Rumors spread quickly. Some blamed pollution. Others believed poisonous gas had escaped from underground. One man claimed secret military experiments were responsible. Social media exploded. People shared photographs, videos, wild theories. A local pastor addressed worried church members. "God gives signs in many ways," he said. But sometimes nature simply reminds us how little we understand. Scientists collected dozens of birds for testing. They examined feathers, bones, internal organs. Days later, results began to appear. The birds had suffered severe physical injuries, broken wings, internal bleeding, damaged muscles. These injuries suggested they had struck solid objects at high speed. But why? Birds experts knew something important about red-winged blackbirds. At night, they normally sleep. They do not fly long distances after dark, especially not in winter. Something had frightened them badly. Then the investigators discovered another clue. Residents had been setting off fireworks nearby. Not small fireworks, large, loud fireworks, for nearly half an hour. Experts believe the explosions started thousands of sleeping birds. Terrified and disoriented, they flew into the darkness. Unable to see properly at night, they collided with buildings, trees, and power lines. Many died instantly. Others fell from exhaustion. The explanation sounded reasonable, yet not everyone accepted it. People asked difficult questions. Why had this never happened before? Fireworks are used every year. Why were only certain birds affected? And why did so many die in such small area? Scientists admit they still do not have every answer. Perhaps fireworks caused the panic. Perhaps weather conditions made the situation worse. Perhaps several factors happened at exactly the wrong moment. Whatever the reason was, the sight remained unforgettable. Thousands of dark feathers covering quiet streets, a town waking up to New Year's Day surrounded by mystery. Today, Beebe has mostly returned to normal. Children play outside, people celebrate holidays, birds continue flying overhead. But every New Year's Eve, some residents remember the strange night and they look up, just in case. Because sometimes history reminds us that world can still surprise us, not with monsters, not with ghosts, but with ordinary creatures behaving in extraordinary ways. And perhaps that is even more mysterious. After all, how many strange events have happened around us that nobody bothered to record? How many mysteries disappeared before anyone could ask questions? Maybe nature still has secrets, and every now and then it lets us witness one.